I don't know why when I start doing YouTube videos my heart starts pounding, I get all stressed, and it's really silly because I'm doing this because I love it. I'm doing it because I want to share the happiness of my book, the amazingness of being an author and like the author journey as a self-published author. Why do I get all jittery and shaky? Okay, and action. Hello everybody, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because it is Inktober time. Inktober is the biggest artist event of the year. Every single day through October you create a piece of art that is to do with one of the prompts that Inktober put out, or some people create their own prompt list. The year before I followed one called Creamtober, and the prompts, they were so kawaii, they were so sweet and pastel colours. That's kind of like the vibe that they gave me, and I just loved doing it. I don't know if I did every single day, because that is the thing. I have never ever succeeded in doing an Inktober, mainly because my ideas, they start too big. I just suddenly think, oh, I'm going to do an entire book, and then of course trying to create a drawing every single day, I never ever succeed, and I'm always crying with my artist friend who also doesn't usually get to the end. I'm Mohammed, sorry. But the reason I am so excited about Inktober this year is because the moment I saw the prompt list, it was as though they were bullet points of my novel, because last year I published my book Dunkirk the Broken Island, a young adult fantasy about an evil island, a broken boy, and the girl he saves at the tower who does not want to be saved. But all of the Inktober prompts, it was just like they were from my novel. It was like it was created for my novel. Thank you if you did. I thought, oh my gosh, I have to theme Inktober around my book. I'm just doing it. Everything just will have to stop because Inktober is my month. So I thought it would be really fun to take you on this journey, not only through Inktober, but through, what day is it? September, just sharing every single step of the way and having fun with it. And also, if I document it, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to fail, because then I'll have to come up here and say I failed, I did it too big again. So anyway, I am ready. So these are the prompts for 2023. And I'm just looking at them and I can see my book in my head. I know exactly what to draw. Well, not the composition, but I know what I want to draw. I'm gonna sketch some of them out. So, scene in the book where poor Finn's always having nightmares, so he hates anything to do with dreams or nightmares. But when I wished I was back in the nightmare, I couldn't look at either of them. How could I have abandoned them in the village? Nightmares are as evil as the island, Finn whispered, not taking his eyes from my face. As though it's not bad enough what you've been through, they force you to relive it over and over again. Still, I whispered, it's the only way I can see my family now. I'm going to do a picture because they're lying on the bed together. So there's Finn, and he's just like lying, looking at Lark, his messy hair, and then there's Lark looking sadly at him, except she can't really bear to because of what's happened. She abandoned him when he needed her most, and then we've got the little baby who will be fast asleep down here. Doesn't really look like a baby, looks a bit like a potato. And, oh, actually, it would be so cool if there was like gold going through. Oh, because in my book, as you can see, it's all black and white, but there is the gold, because the scene in the book where they're lying on Lightning Rock and Finn is showing how he is broken from everything that he's been through. I crouched down and dipped my finger in the ochre, then climbed onto the rock and knelt beside him. You are broken, I breathed, but in Japan, whenever something breaks, they fix it with gold lacquer. It's called kintsugi. As I spoke, I daubed the ochre mud through the white scars and mud across his torso. He flinched, watching me in astonishment. They believe the piece is more beautiful for having been broken, I finished. And then later he said, you're broken too. I think in some way we all are, I said. You know what that makes us? I smiled. What? 2 broken pieces. He stared deep into my eyes. But we fit together with gold glue. Oh my gosh, yes, so I can get some gold paint. I can put it in the picture. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. I just love it when things come together like that. Spiders, there is a spider in the book called Bob. He has quite a heroic moment, so I'm gonna draw Bob. Path, dodge, well, there are a lot of fight scenes, maybe the one with Aiden. And then a map, even a map, because you see there is a map in the book, and it's hidden, so I'm gonna write that, the pencil map. Golden, well, we know exactly what scene that's gonna be. I'm stuck on Fortune, Spicy, and Saddle. So I am going to have to brainstorm and come up with some ideas for this. Mum came up with the best idea for Saddle because this is Ben. He is the outcast of the island. He's a gruff 40-year-old or something man, and he just wants to be left alone with his guilt, with his secrets, and then all the villagers, they hate him, but he likes their fear because then he gets to be left alone and he can just suffer and drown in his alcohol. But unfortunately, then we have little Lark, and she crashes into his world and she brings along a baby, she brings along everybody she tries to save, and suddenly he is saddled with them, having to look after them. He brings Finn in, and poor Finn has night terrors every night, so he screams all the time. And yeah, Saddled is definitely going to be, oh, the woe of poor gruff Ben. I'm still not sure about Spicy because she said, oh, well, why don't you write a spicy scene in the book? But no, it's not that kind of book, Mum. And she also said is that the secret of the island is hidden inside the dragon's breath, which is this amazing sea hole on the island. And there's something hidden in there. So dragon's breath is going to be the fortune because that is going to determine the whole story. So, wow, that was really easy to get the ideas. So first of all, let's go buy some art materials. Oh, Winsor & Newton. That's perfect because I already have the Winsor & Newton sets. Oh my gosh, look at that. Gold. Oh my god, do you think I need that? Yes, I think I need that. Bye. Oh my gosh, this one's calling to me. I didn't know what sketchbook I was going to get, but I'm going to get the Sea White sketchbook. Okay, I'm back from buying art materials. I got myself the most gorgeous Sea White sketchbook. I just thought it would be a really good size. Actually, I didn't look at the size, I just bought it. But I like the fact that it's square, because then it kind of fits perfectly in an Instagram post, and it's got gorgeous, gorgeous, thick, lush white pages. I'm so excited. And then I've got my black Winsor & Newton ink, which I already had, and I'm gonna have to learn how to use because I've never really used it, and suddenly I'm doing Inktober with it. And then I have my gold, my Winsor & Newton gold paint. Oh, I'm so excited to see how this is gonna turn out. And I also got the most cutest sorry. I'm photobombing Winsor & Newton ink. It just looks like a little person judging me. I got the cutest little tin watercolour set. They're handmade paints from Germany. Look at these, they're so cute. I haven't even tried them out yet. I'm just waiting for the moment. So I've got my sketchbook, I've got my paints. Let's get sketching some ideas. I started sketching out some ideas. I wanted to have a way to sort of include some of the words from my novel. I thought it would be fun if I like tore up some pieces of paper and stuck it on the picture. It'll be fun to see whether that turns out well. When I do the post, I will then have like a little quote from the book and then maybe a little bit about why I wrote that scene. But I just can't help thinking that it would be really cool, like if it all linked to a secret club on the website, and there when you download and you get like your secret password, you can see excerpts from the book or backstories that you could only find on the website, things that haven't been written. Actually, I was discussing this idea with my mum and she had the best idea. She said, for instance, well, what about Bob? I want to know Bob's origin story. So I don't know Bob's origin story. She said, you have to know it's your characters. So she wants to know, how did Bob the Spider end up creeping into the house of Bern, the gruff alcoholic who just wants to be left alone? How did they end up living together? So I'm going to have on the secret website in the secret club the Bob's origin story. That's crazy. And my mum also had the most coolest idea. So for the page when it is spicy, we were trying to think, what on earth can we do for spicy? And she said, what about spicy gossip? Like a game of Chinese whispers, I don't know if is that still politically correct? So they say, hey, did you hear? Da, 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 da. And then you scroll and they're telling somebody. And then in the next picture, that person is telling somebody else. And you scroll and you scroll and you scroll until suddenly the message is completely twisted and it's like, I don't know, maybe they're like, kill them! I just thought that was such a cool idea of Mum's spicy gossip, so I'm gonna say that was Mum's idea. Sorry, no spicy scene with Finn and Lark. Though maybe I will include a little something. My poor family are getting mad with me stealing these glass tables, but they just make such good tripods, and mine broke. Got a dedicated folder, Inktober. There's nothing like good old blank paper. Okay, Saunders. That's what I've decided to call everybody who reads my books because my name is Sonder and Sondera kind of sounds like wanderer. And anyway, so let's see. We already know what we're going to do for number 1, but how about Bob? We've spoken a lot about Bob the Spider. So I was thinking we could either do it like this. We could have Bob in his web, and he's snagged a few pieces of paper that have the secret. Or, this table is far too small, I can't move. Or I could have it as the scene where Lark says she puts little fish offerings in his web in the hope that he doesn't crawl into her mouth in the night, which could be a little 4-part thing. Or just purely, what would it be if there was like the web, but she was like sort of looking up through the web? Number 4 is dodge, so I thought I might do a scene of Lark running away from her most feared nemesis, or maybe have her sleeping with his hands coming down into her nightmares. Number 5 is map, so I was just trying to figure out a way to show it that was interesting. And number 7 is drip, so we're going to have water dripping like blood from the floorboards. Not the floorboards, the ceiling. There's actually a really cute scene here because she says, promise, because he's an acid frog. And when she picks him up, he covers her hands in acid. And she says, like, oh my god, if I die that way, please don't write it in my gravestone. And it's like, death by frog. I just took a break for tea and I came back and I was looking at this and thinking, what shall I do? And I suddenly thought, wouldn't it be cool if like one of the pages was a bit like a nature encyclopedia? So, and it talks about the acid frog, and then there's like the little picture, and then there's the death by a frog sort of thing. That'd be really cool, yes, I think something like that. Or I could add that on the secret club. Fortune, the dragon's breath. Now the dragon's breath looks a bit like, oh yeah, it's a geezer, I forgot. It's a giant sea hole. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. There's a simile in the book, and it describes it as though a giant tiger has come out this hole. So maybe the tiger is like made of the waves, and then the other beast. So it's like, yeah, like a huge tiger battle. So the sound effects help me draw better. And they collide because the elements are alive. And then number 14 is castle. Well, there is a tour. I don't really know how to make that a bit more interesting. Those are those like lightning, and maybe they're like looking up at it thinking the answer's there. Yeah, cool, that works. So that's 14 of them. These scenes were quite easy to sketch because we have Dagger, and there's a scene where they have to fight the villagers, and Bern forces a dagger into Lark's hand and says, you will use this if you have to. And then we have Angel, where poor Finn is thinking that he's about to die, and this figure appears and he thinks it is an angel that's come to save him, and he's very confused that the angel knows his name. And then Demon, well, the island itself is evil, so that's surely got to be about the island. Quite a touching scene because the villagers are against Lark and Finn and Bern in the hut because they saved this baby. The island is so angry that it accidentally saved this baby when it tried to kill it. And so when they save the baby and they protect it, which means the island can't hurt it, the island pays back the villagers for what they did. Even though they're terrified, even though they're being tormented, one of them risks their life to help this baby, and she comes with a handful of eggs, and it is a symbol of hope and friendship. Chains, 21. Well, he does get physically chained up by old Glenn, but they're also chained in the decision of whether to save the baby. Maybe it can like flicker this one, So there's like different versions, so the writing changes because they're chained by the decision. They know that the villagers will be killed and punished for their decision, but why should they let the baby die? What do they do? It will be quite fun to do like a metaphorical sort of thing. And then Scratchy, well, we have the needle spitting bush, which likes to spit needles at you. And then we've got Remove, and I think this picture is going to be the one where... No, I know, this is my favourite scene. He draws pictures of all the people he's lost all the way up his arm, and there's so many, and Lark is so horrified, and it's such a terrible scene, and then he starts on his other arm, and oh my god, it's just really, really sad. 26, whew, nearly finished, getting a little tired. Then we have Beast. Now, originally I was going to do the Beast as the June dogs, which live on the island, but I think they've had their moment. So there's only one Beast, and that is Old Glenn. He believes that he is the island's friend. He does terrible things. Everybody bows down before him because they have his respect and fear. And maybe there's something that like his shadow looks demonic or something on the wall. 28, Sparkle will be the snow scene. The cutest little snow kiss ever. The island was a wonderland. Why did everything look magical under snow? It could snow in the darkest evil place ever, and you could fall in love with it. Villagers spilt out, panicking and falling over one another. They thought it was the end of the world. They didn't realise it was the beginning. Maybe like where the whole island is covered in snow. I'm just gonna give myself some time to think about that one. 3 left. 29, Massive. I'm still not quite sure what I'm gonna do about that. I mean, we've got the island with all the elements and huge storms. Oh, there's a tsunami. Maybe I should do that one. And finally, 31, Fire, the Old Hall. Well, I can only do the one where he is... Oh, I can do that scene I've always wanted to do, because I nearly put it in the book, but I didn't. A little ghost, this little boy meets on the island. He's running away with the fire, and he's like, no, don't do it. There we go, all the ideas. That was really fun. Some of them I still need to work on, but I definitely got enough to be able to work on in September, to sketch out, and oh my gosh. So that's all the Inktober work for the moment, and then we'll do another video starting to do the actual pictures. But let me know if you're going to be taking part in Inktober. Tell me what sort of theme you're going for. Oh, and let me know your Instagram accounts or social media so I can check it out. And let me know which one you're looking forward to most to be recreated in a big drawing. I'm really excited for this, and for a while I've been wondering how to do my YouTube videos because I do enjoy talking and like showing the books, but what I really am at the end of the day is art. I just love art so much. So I'm really excited to be sharing the process and also infusing it with my novel as well. I wanted you to smile again properly, not your brave smile. Sorry, Dad's put the printer on over me.